The cameras don't show him, but Marcus could hear him breathing in the vents. Marcus Taylor had worked night shifts at a large logistics warehouse on the outskirts of Detroit, Michigan for nearly 6 months. The building was massive, mostly empty at night, and the floors echoed with every movement. Marcus's job was simple on paper: monitor the cameras, log deliveries, and report any anomalies. But the quiet of the night always seemed heavier than it should be, and tonight it pressed against him like a weight he could not shake. It started around 1:30 a.m. Marcus was reviewing the security feeds when he first noticed the sound. A soft, dragging noise, rhythmic and deliberate, came from the ventilation system above the ceiling. At first, he thought it was the HVAC kicking in, but the sound moved from vent to vent, like someone pacing the corridors he could not see. Then, beneath the dragging came whispers, low, quiet, unintelligible at first, but growing clearer over the next few minutes. Marcus leaned forward. The cameras showed empty hallways. Storage rooms, stairwells, and delivery bays were all clear. Nothing moved. By 2 a.m., the sounds had grown sharper. Scratches along the vent covers, small but unmistakable thuds as if something was testing the ceiling tiles. Marcus's heartbeat quickened. He walked the floor himself, checking each hallway and storage area. Nothing. The cameras confirmed it. The building was empty, or so it appeared. Around 2:15 a.m., the intercom crackled to life. A low, raspy voice whispered, "Marcus." His blood ran cold. The voice knew his name. Marcus's first thought was that someone had broken in, but the building's security system should have shown an alert. He called the on-site manager, but the manager's office was empty. The night crew was gone. He was alone. The voice returned, calm now, almost casual. "I see you." Marcus froze. He stayed still, trying to figure out if this was some prank or a malfunction, but deep down he knew neither explanation was possible. He called 911, but as he hit the dial, the line went dead. The monitors flickered violently, the feeds jumping between cameras in erratic patterns. Then the sound above returned, breathing, heavy and slow, moving across the vents. Marcus realized it was no ordinary intruder. By 2:30 a.m., the vent covers began rattling violently. One cover fell to the floor near his desk. Marcus backed away. Shadows flickered across the monitors, but nothing appeared to move in the hallways themselves. The sound of dragging came closer, and whispers became words, taunting, patient, deliberate. "I know where you are," it said. "I know how you move." Marcus ran toward the exit doors. Locked. He tried the panic alarms. Nothing. The shadow moved again, dropping from the vent above the monitors. It was thin, almost impossibly fast, and human-shaped, but its movements were wrong, too fluid, too precise, like it had studied him. Marcus struggled, fighting to reach the fire extinguisher. He sprayed it toward the vent, and the figure recoiled, slamming the vent shut, but he could feel its presence in the room, circling, watching. He backed into a storage closet, locking the door behind him. The whispering continued, now just outside the closet walls. He pressed his back against the door, trying to calm his breathing. The ventilation above rattled, then paused, as if whatever it was waiting. Time stretched. Minutes passed. Marcus could hear nothing except the distant hum of the HVAC, but it wasn't the same. It was the silence between breaths that terrified him. When the police arrived 20 minutes later, Marcus was outside, trembling, pale, but alive. They searched the building. No intruder, no fingerprints, no tools, just vent covers bent and scratched from the inside. The warehouse appeared empty, yet the evidence of something moving above remained. Marcus quit the next day. He never returned to night shifts, but he couldn't forget. The creature, or whatever it was, had learned him. It had memorized his movements, his habits, and his weaknesses. Marcus told himself it had targeted him and moved on. Weeks later, reports came in from another warehouse in a neighboring city. Night shift workers described the same strange sounds, soft dragging, whispers moving through vents, shadows that appeared only on the edge of the cameras. One worker reported the intercom crackling with a voice that knew his name. No one believed him at first, until the worker vanished that night. Marcus heard the news, but said nothing. He kept his doors locked, windows covered, and never stayed alone in a building at night. He knew it was still out there. He knew it could learn again, and this time there might be no way to survive. By the end of that year, at least 5 more disappearances were reported, all from night shifts, all with identical patterns, strange sounds in the vents, whispers calling names, shadows moving unseen. None of the victims were ever found. Marcus moved to a different state, taking a day job where he never had to work alone. Yet every night, he could still hear faint dragging sounds in the distance, whispering his name just beyond the walls of his apartment. The fear never left him. He had survived, but he knew the creature, or whatever it was, would never stop learning, never stop hunting, and one night, someone else would be the next to vanish.